Welcome to Stories Untold, the home of good news. I am Bulemo Lebati. Thank you for choosing us as your source of information today. The next half an hour is going to be quite informative and useful for up and coming learners that are about to venture into higher education learning. It is that time of the year where you find that first year students will be struggling to register for higher education. There will be challenges with being able to afford tuition, afford residency, and just the day-to-day expenses of being a tertiary student. Now, there is a huge gap between finding information when it comes to finding the right potential funders or bursaries for students. Yes, there is social media, the information is there, there are platforms on the internet, but there are small areas in South Africa that are known as rural areas and villages where some information does not reach. Now the question is, how do we bridge that gap? That's what today's episode is all about.
Naledi Garland started Dalizo 18 years ago. To this day, her intention for business is still one that is a solution to South Africa's socio-economic ills.
I'm fine, thanks. We feel very strongly about the future skills and the future skill sets, especially for young people in this country. And we are actually proud to be an organization that provides bursary administration and management services, especially given the socioeconomic situation that we find ourselves in South Africa, where there's exceptionally high levels of unemployment. We assist by granting bursaries and basically managing and administering those bursaries on behalf of the corporates.
Naledi's leadership style in her company has allowed her to afford young professionals an opportunity to spearhead her vision. Tinashe laid out one of this company's core services.
High unemployment rate is prevalent in every African country as it stands at the moment, and also equally affecting other countries on the globe. So the main function or the key to bursaries is not only to address unemployment, but rather to grant opportunities to the youth, upcoming and well-deserving. We have organizations that are focusing on recruitment of the youth from a rural background, where they are assisting with funding in order to propel them to garner the necessary skill set to address the unemployment problem. But not only that, we also are working with corporates that are driving initiatives for youth development programs, development programs plans, where they are roping in the youth to either focus on a learnership perspective, where they go into these technical spaces where they get the necessary training that will equip them and allow them to earn a certain stipend per month, which will probably bridge the income concern, the unemployment problem. And also in itself, it's also then curbing the high rate of crime in the country as well.
And so what we actually help in doing is building a pipeline of the future skills that are needed. As you know, currently there's a skills deficit of the types of skills that are needed in the future, because as you know, a lot of things are changing. We are now in the fourth industrial revolution, and that requires a different type of skill set. So we are helping organizations in actually building that pipeline of the types of skills that will allow them to also meet their objectives. So they nurture those skills, they develop those skills, they actually help all of these young people coming from, disadvantaged backgrounds to acquire some of these highly sought out or highly sought after skills, basically making sure that by the time they graduate, there's actually a job opportunity available.
Another young leader in this organization, further explained to us how they actually manage the bursaries.
We try and make sure that we checking all the requirements that they have, which is the ID. That's the first important thing. If the ID is certified, the qualification, if you've passed also your metric. Or we check on the metric, we need to make sure that at least you're 75% of passing mark. And then we check the qualification. If it's still your first year, we make sure that, okay, the marks are correct. If you are still on the second year program, then we also check the academic record that, okay, if you've passed or not.
Yonela says their success is in the continuous management that they apply to all the bursary recipients.
We do a report. So in our report, we deal in a sense of we're making sure that we follow up. If you are still studying, how are you coping? The marks, we also check that, okay, how are your marks? Like, are you passing correctly? So that's basically what we do on our report. And then we keep on checking if we did make the payments correctly. We also do what is called campus visit. So we do go and check quarterly, how are they doing, how are they coping. For an example, there are so many certain things that they do in different institutions. So we do have the program that is called campus visit. We're checking how are they doing, are they coping very well. So we'd normally advise them that they need to speak out. When we're doing those campus visits, we check how are you doing. You need to be transparent to us, to tell us that, okay, no man, I'm not coping on this module. Then we try and find a resolution on that. So I would say in advice, you need to speak out and also work hard. Make sure that you study so that you won't lose your bursary.
Naledi says not all young people will end up with a higher education qualification. She believes that emerging entrepreneurs play a key role in the economic development of our country. We asked her what she thinks the government should do to nurture young entrepreneurs.
I think they should support the idea of providing support for, the creation of more businesses, the support of, entrepreneurs that want to get into business, because we have seen that, with this new dispensation, in as much as they've managed to create some level of employment, it's not where we need it to be. The levels of unemployment are way too high, and it's documented, and there's research that actually proves that the private sector and the informal sector are the highest employers. And so in creating more entrepreneurs and supporting more businesses, that actually helps in creating more employment. It stimulates the economy.
Many SMMEs do not have a long lifespan. Many close shop even before hitting the 5th year mark. It is through her company that Naledi became the help she believes young and growing businesses need.
We've identified the gap in the space of SMMEs, which is basically small, medium companies, as well as large organizations, that a lot of them are not necessarily compliant. And it's very simple. When you're a small, medium, or large size company, your focus is to grow your business. And so, HR is not really a very strong point. In actual fact, what it does is that it deviates, or it distracts you from focusing on the business, because now you're focusing on people-related matters. And you and I know how hectic that is, right? That requires somebody who's specialist in that space, somebody who specializes in that, somebody that understands, capital, human capital management, and so forth.
Lungisa, who is also another professional that Naledi has brought into the business support wing of her company, says she is proud of the role they play in the lives of small businesses.
When you're starting that new baby, you're probably starting it because you're passionate about something or you're wanting to provide a solution. However, we don't foresee going forward that, there's some policies, there's procedures, there's things that you need to have in place to make that baby grow, to allow it to, get to a point that it is really truly functional. So our role is really quite exciting because we're holding hands with your business people, we're holding hands with organizations to give them the support that they need to get their things in order. Also to just, get to a point where they are compliant, where they are not focusing on the things that are maybe hindering their success. They can focus on making the business work.
She had a few tips for those that are going to or have already started their small to medium business.
I'd say, get your procedures in place, get your policies in place. Not only that, just check your quotas. Are you compliant in terms of employment equity? Do you have your training and your skills development plan maybe in place? If not, get somebody in to review all of that to help you for that when everyone does come back to the office in January, whether it's new staff, whether it's existing, upskill your employees, do your onboarding for new employees, also just engage in a culture of involvement.
Hi. Hello. How are you? I am good.
Naledi applies the same principles she gives to SMMEs in her own company.
Culture plays a huge role in any organization, and so the culture of our organization definitely revolves around employee wellness. We are of the view that because our employees spend almost 70% to 80% of their time in the workspace, it needs to be a very healthy one. It needs to be a conducive workspace where they actually look forward to coming to work. They look forward to interacting with their co-workers. And so the types of policies that we create in the organization allow for that. They allow for employees to be able to collaborate, to work together and not be competitive. I personally, as a leader, have an open door policies, even though we've got an organizational structure in terms of communication channels. The employees are able to come and speak to me about anything, and I do everything in my endeavor to make sure that grievances are dealt with. But we take a more proactive approach. We make sure that our employees feel very well taken care of, because we definitely do feel that they are, I hate using this term, assets of the organization, but your employees are the bloodline of the organization. Without them, the organization is nothing. If you have happy employees, they will definitely take care of your business, and that will ultimately lead to higher levels of productivity, and that is basically what higher revenue and more business for you.
In the year 2023, Dalitso administered bursaries for over 1,000 students. In this first month of 2024, over 300 students have already been registered through their administration.
I am feeling very privileged and honored to be standing here in front of all of you.
I'm very hopeful that we're going to be changing this world, the trajectory of SMMEs, and to empower them, And like I said, when we empower entrepreneurs, we contribute towards job creation, and, the economy grows bigger, and it's positive for everybody. It's a win-win situation for all of us. So it's quite critical.
Hey, Dali. Hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. How was your day?
It was good. It was good.
So good to see you. Did you have a really great day today?
Did you have a good
This businesswoman, who is also a motivational speaker and coach, attributes her success to living a balanced life.
work-life balance for me means a lot. So, you know, during weekends or in the evenings, I definitely make sure that I get to spend time with my family and with my kids and with my friends.
Instead of clear beads this time.
We caught up with her during a bonding session she had with her daughter, whose name was actually used to name the organization that has now become a key player in South Africa's economic development.
I love meditating. Meditating is a big thing for me. From time to time, I do go on meditation retreats. I find that, you know, those anchor me, they ground me, and just allow me to recharge and just to reach within and to just, you know, get that spark or that strength or that inner purpose, you know, that actually keeps reminding you why you are here and why you are doing what you are doing.
As the year 2024 begins, Naledi gave us a review of how 2023 was for them.
2023 has been like a roller coaster, but very exciting, highly adventurous year for us. We've since expanded our business operations in Dubai and the Middle East. We have been acknowledged in the Middle East and Africa as being one of the top 50 businesswomen. So that was an accolade that I received, and I'm very grateful for, because I think, you know, it goes on to showing that the work that we are providing in making sure that, you know, businesses are able to flourish and to be successful is actually being acknowledged.
Those who work closely with Naledi say the impact she has had in their careers is one that is unforgettable.
It's been an exciting time. It has actually kind of forced me to come out of a shell that I had been in for quite a while due to other personal stuff. But, you know, working with a phenomenal team, but also just such an amazing leader such as Naledi, it's been a beautiful 3 months of learning, of, you know, discovery. There's certain strengths that I have also just brushed up and also strengthened on in the past 3 months. And, you know, 3 months is such a short time, but I think in what I have personally achieved, it's just been great. But also because of those that surround me, the leaders, the management team, the colleagues. It's been a really great time. Yeah.
Naledi is an awesome person to work with. She will never make you feel like she's the boss to you. She treats all of us as equals, and she is my inspiration because she has achieved a lot.
The appeal for me in engagement with Naledi even before joining the organization was the drive. For me, coming from previously having worked in the advertising industry where the focus was on Africa and my experience was mainly on sub-Saharan Africa and other African countries, I wanted to join an organization that had a drive and an ambition to reach all the corners of Africa and to do something impactful. And when I found myself zeroing in the space of bursaries and then managing that particular portfolio and growing it on the entirety of the journey, it was quite an exciting challenge for me. And not only that, but the one thing that I appreciated the most about my relationship or engagement with Naledi is I was allowed the leeway to map and shape the department how I saw fit. And with her guidance and of course with her propelling also on the business development and engagement aspect, I think we made quite a good collaboration and we managed to take the business to what it is today.
Founder of Dalizo is living proof that when you are passionate about uplifting your community, you will surely succeed in life. It is true when they say that on your way up, be sure to take others along with you. We would like to extend an invitation to those with potential to assist learners of the year 2024 with funding or guidance. Do share that information on our social media handles. It's at Stories Untold SABC. It is on Facebook as well as on Twitter. As for me, Bulemo Lebatsi, and the rest of the Stories Untold team, let's do this again, same time, same place. Goodbye.